Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Olivia Sutra Ningrum from Group 6. I will presenting developing textbook evaluation checklist. The first part will be me. So for first general attributes, in the point A and the B is the same. We look more in this point C in suitability to learners. In the point C, it is compatible to background knowledge and level of students, and then it is compatible to the socio-economic context, and it is culturally accessible to the learners, and then it is compatible to the needs of the learners, and it is compatible to the interests of the learners. We from the group 6 decide to delete point C number 5 and 6 and change it to it is accessible to students. We do this considering that today we have ebook that are practically free and can be accessed by all students anywhere and anytime, because book is not just printed anymore. That's why we decide to delete point C numbers 5 and 6. And next is point D, physical and utilitarian attributes. In here, there is its layout is attractive, and then it indicates efficient use of text and visuals. It is durable, it is cost effective, its size is appropriate, and the printing quality is high. And in this point, we decide to delete it is the we decide to delete 4 point, which is durable, cost effective, size is appropriate, and the printing quality is high. Because these points is usually needed just for the printed book. However, like I said earlier, now we also have ebooks which is not printed, so we don't need this part anymore. And that's for me. Thank you.
For the next two parts will be explained by me, Aprilia Ristanti. In part A, efficient outlay of supplementary material, there are 2 points here. The book is supported efficiently by essential like audio material, and there is teacher's guide to aid the teacher. For this part, we decide to add 1 point. There is guide for students to help them, because in this pandemic situation, there will be situation when students also need guide to support them, because there will be time when they have to work on assignment and cannot contact the teacher for help. So we think that students also need the guide to help them with their assignment. And then in next point 2, learning and teaching content, there are in general there are several points here. There are most of the text of the book is interesting. Text move from simple to complex. Text objectives are achievable. Cultural sensitive ones have been considered. The language in the textbook is natural and real. The situation created in dialogue sound natural and real. The material is up to date. It covers variety of topic from different fields. The book contains fun element. In this part, we decide to delete the point material is up to date, because we think material doesn't not have to use update material, because we can still use the old one material that can still support the student learning. It doesn't necessary for the textbook to have update material, but to have appropriate material. So it doesn't have to be news material, up-to-date material. And for the point B to E stay the same, because we don't think we have to change anything there. Okay, that's all from me.
Now we jump to point F, vocabulary. In this point, there are four items mentioned here. The first item is the load or number of new words in each lesson is appropriate to the level. The second is there is a good distribution from simple to complex of vocabulary load across chapters and the whole book. Next is words are efficiently repeated and recycled across the book. And for the last item, number 26, we thought to delete it because this point has been explained in both item 23 and item 24, which is clear that in the context, without it being explained in the table, the words must have been in accordance with the context. Next is point G, grammar. In this point, there are 5 items mentioned here. The first item is the spread of grammar is achievable. The second is grammar is contextualized. Next is examples are interesting. And then grammar is introduced explicitly. And the last is grammar is reworked implicitly throughout the book. From the article, it is explained that participants are likely to find books that introduce grammar explicitly, but fail to repeat them throughout the book. Therefore, to solve this problem, we decide to divide the fourth item into 2 parts, which is item 30 and item 31.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Nur Wahyuning Putri will explain about pronunciation. In pronunciation, we have 2 points and 1 point from us that add in this point. So in pronunciation, it is contextualized and it is easy to learn. It will be easier if we change it to is it easy to learn. So not to make textbook criteria look more complex and difficult to understand. And we considered to edit it has some verbal practices because in pronunciation it cannot only learn the words but it must give some demonstrate to make understand how to spell the words, and also they can pronounce it pronounce it correctly. And for the last is exercises. In exercises we have 3 points. The with the first is same point in our reference. They are learner friendly, have clear instructions, they are adequate, they help students who are under or overachiever. In point I, we decided to edit they are adequate in student understanding level and they are adequate in the amount of exercise. Because in point 35, it is important for us to differentiate which part that must be measured equally. I think that's all. Thank you. Have listened our presentation.